Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the first speaker from the opposite team. According to the first speaker of proposition team, that I disagree with her standpoint that freedom is just viewpoint as human being no need social network. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Nowadays is the globalization era, where in this era we need to use social network. As we know, the social network is far more important than you think. The growth of social network as an influencing factor in our lives is truly breathtaking. Why is this relevant to me? It is relevant to you on a brand. It doesn't matter if you are a part-time blogger, a small business, or a hub corporation, you have a brand. And if you have any interest in furthering your brand, you cannot ignore social media. Geekia recently published data gleaned from their on-site social media login platform. Analysis of the data provides some pretty fascinating insights. They found that on websites with social login functionally logged-in users spend 50% more time on site and view twice as many pages than those who do not log in. The data strongly suggests that statistically speaking, people always want to be social regardless of where they are on the web. Ladies and gentlemen, as with many things in life, social media will give you as much as you put in. The key to social network boils down to two factors: interactions and incentive. Social networking sites can help you make and keep friends. Social networking sites can act as a kind of group therapy session. Our time is being stretched thinner and thinner by work and family commitments, but social network sites offer a chance to communicate in a speedy and efficient manner. Social networking sites allow you to live a life unhindered by small talk and also make fitting in easier as long as you open up a little. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it isn't just your inner circle of close friends and even close family members that social network allow you to communicate easily and effectively. It has the power to open the world up to you, making it smaller place than it has ever been before. Social network can build relationship where its social network can put you back in touch with people who have lots in common with, and that common ground is often the starting point for long-lasting relationship. As painful as breakups can be, they can sometimes be the right thing for all concerned. What's to say that the new relationship founded on the steps of Facebook isn't the one that will last? Even if it doesn't turn into a spectacular coupling, it could be the friendship that is needed at the time, which has to be a positive thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it can also be a great way to share tips and ideas. Sites like Pinterest have been very successful due to the ease in which a person can learn and share information about hobbies, crafts, cooking, gardening, and other do-it-yourself activities. By pinning and sharing, you can attract like-minded individuals into your circle. Ladies and gentlemen, social network increases news cycle speed. Undoubtedly, social networking has revolutionized the speed of the news cycle. Most news organizations now rely on social media sites to collect and share information. Today, an individual can know in real time what is happening throughout in the world. This has led to development of a nearly instantaneous news cycle, as everything from terrorist attacks to local car crashes get shared on social network, quickly alerting their intended audience of the event. So the conclusion is social network is very important nowadays in this globalization era because it can more help us to run our life in this globalization era. That's from me. Thank you very much.
Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here I'm the second speaker from the opposition team. Today there will be two sessions of my speech. The first one is rebuttal and the second one is my argument itself. So I would like to rebut the second speaker's arguments from the government team. That the second speaker from the government team said social networks limit people to say out loud their thoughts. Limit? What does he mean by limit? If social networks limit people, so there will be no one who use that social networks, or we can say that there will be no one who use social media because social media is part of social networks. Why? Because in fact today we know that in social media everyone can deliver their minds, everyone can deliver their arguments, everyone can deliver their thoughts, like in status posting and so on. So social networks or social media doesn't limit people to deliver their arguments or their thoughts. The second one, the second speaker from the government team said that social networks create antisocial. How can he said that social networks can create antisocial? Later I will explain more in my arguments. So welcome to my arguments. The first one, social networks or social media can give people who use it any freedom, especially freedom of speech. Why? Because in social media everyone can deliver all their arguments, like in status and so on. When people type a status or post a photo and so on, they will add like some caption or everything that the caption itself comes from their minds, comes from their thoughts. Also, people can deliver what's on their minds, like arguments and so on towards the government or her friends and so on. And you know, when people like comment to the government about the system of the government itself, it really useful. It is really useful, and it really helps government to build better system in their government. The second one, I will what can I say? I will like rebut, but it is related to my arguments. The second speaker said social networks create antisocial. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know the meaning of the network itself? Network itself means a large system consisting of many similar parts that are connected together to allow movement or communication between or along the parts of people. We have to highlight, we have to bold the word communication. And when people has like an antisocial, it means that they don't communicate at all with other people in their area, in their environment. But you know, as I said before, the networks mean communication. So in social networks itself, in social media, there are communication. So it can't be said that social networks create antisocial. It is really contradictory. And in social networks or in social media, people communicate one another, like with people in the far distance. We can communicate easily by using social media or social networks. It really helps people. So there will be no people who have antisocial while they are using social media. And the next one is in social media. Social media or social networks itself provide people with easy to access connectivity, entertainment, and shopping without charge. Yeah, in social networks, in social media, we can find everything like news, and yeah, the hot news around us without any charge. It means that we don't have to pay at all because we just browse it, just like type the keywords what we are looking for in the table, so we don't need to pay at all. We just like internet, and internet is not expensive, it's really cheap. And the last one, if we talk about social networks and freedom, because our motion today is social networks and freedom, I think freedom is can everything, like freedom of speech and so on. And like what I said before, what I told you before, the social networks create freedom for people who use it, especially freedom of speech. Yeah, even though like people can elaborate, can deliver, can give all they want in social media because they are free to do that. They don't need to pay or anything to do that. Like for example, if I want to post a picture of myself, like selfie, I don't need to like ask permission to another. So it means freedom. So it is free for us to do everything in social media. So I do disagree to the motion today that social networks are Trojan horse to freedom. I don't disagree at all because yeah, social networks can give freedom. Social networks create freedom. That's all from me. I disagree with the motion today. Thank you.